Hello everyone, thanks for joining me back on StubbleMeetsSteel. My buddy Justin over at Just Shaves was kind enough to loan me this Timless 0.68. It's got this beautiful scallop top cap, beautiful handle, and if you can't tell by the finish, this is titanium. I'm sure you already saw that from the thumbnail. There's a very interesting head design there. As far as they have these channels, it does also have lather channels on the bottom as well. The blade tabs stick out just a tiny bit. I thought it would be a good comparison to compare it to the Yates Merica. This is also titanium. And so for me, after using this Timless 0.68, I felt that these were a great comparison because they're both kind of more mild daily shaving razors. So let's hop into it. For today's blades, I've got my new favorite, the Gillette Silver Blues for the blades. And for the software today, I'm going to use a little sample of this Ariana and Evans Emperium Bay Rum. And I do love Bay Rums, and so when I had kind of read the scent profiles of this, I wasn't sure what to think, because I'm of the odd camp that I do like clove and cinnamon in my Bay Rums. And so this particular Bay Rum by A&E doesn't have any of those notes. I'll put the scent notes up there for you. But what I thought was interesting was as I started smelling it, it's definitely Bay Rum-ish, but in a different kind of way. And I kind of enjoyed that. It's a different, unique Bay Rum, but still definitely reminds me of Bay Rums. It kind of does have what I would consider spicy notes from the coumarin in it. And then he also puts bay leaf and rum in there. So, you know, it definitely has notes that are familiar with the Bay Rum, but it has kind of its own scent to it. And when I put up the scent notes, it's got a bunch of interesting things in it that you probably wouldn't think would kind of blend together to make a Bay Rum. But I assure you, it is definitely Bay Rum-ish. So for today's brush, I've got my homemade brush with the Sinbad synthetic AP shave coat knot in it. As you can see, the Project Anti-Swamp Stash is still going pretty good. I haven't decided if I'm going to grow it out more or grow goatee, but it's definitely resisting sweating like my upper lip was with nothing on it. So it's been working so far to keep the sweating down. This is the Ultima base, this soap. Lathering up very nicely. This is a really good scent. Wow, it's really blooming and opening up nicely. It smelled really good on the sample, but I wanted to try it to see how it smelled once I started using it, and it smells even better. Whipping up super easy with the Sinbad knot. I might put a little bit more water in there just for the heck of it. Just hopped out of the shower. Was over at my dad's house helping him fix his dishwasher. My sisters are coming from Washington in a week or so, and so he wanted to get this dishwasher going. So I got that going for him. He was happy. Something about fixing an appliance that just really is a cheap thrill for me. I'm pretty decent at fixing appliances. It's pretty rare that I can't fix them, or it's just not cost effective too. So I always get a cheap thrill out of fixing cars, but especially appliances. Especially when it's a parent or friend or somebody you care about. All right, let's hop into it here. Let's do the Yates Merica on this side of my face, my right side. Been a while since I've used this Merica. So far very smooth, very nice. Handle's a little short on this Merica model in my opinion. I do like shorter handles, but it's just over 3 inches, not quite 3 1/4, a little bit short. Silver blues are a very nice pairing so far. It's smooth, but I can tell it has a little bit extra sharpness to it. I thought this would be a good comparison because they're both titanium razors. The weight of the Timless is a little bit more, pretty heavy in my opinion for a titanium. I attribute that to the thicker handle that it has. It's about 75 grams versus the Yates, if I remember right, is about 55 or so when I just weighed it. So about 20 grams difference between the two. Feels like the Timless has just a tiny bit more blade feel, but it's still very smooth. Very nice first pass for both razors, very pleasurable. Both in this mild razor category. Just this tiny bit. Let's do against the grain on my neck here. And let's see, is one more efficient than the other? Because they're both very mild. So in these razors, what I'm looking for more so is which one is a little more forgiving and which one still has more efficiency. Very nice. All right, let's hop back in here. The Timless 68 reminds me a lot of the aluminum version they have, that's DE, the SB45 as it's called. They feel very similar to me. I would do a comparison between the two of those, but I gifted that one away. I participated in the money fundraiser for Double Y, who passed away, the YouTuber. We did a kind of like a raffle type thing, raise some money for his wife and kids that he left behind. And I gave the Timless away with the bowl and a bunch of other stuff. So a bunch of people would donate trying to win it. And yeah, it worked out great. Some guy in the Netherlands won it. And if I remember right, we raised over 4,000 euros for Yuri's family. So I was really happy to be part of that. But I wish I still had that razor to compare to this one. They don't offer this in aluminum. They only offer it in the stainless steel and the titanium, and I'm not sure if they offer it in the bronze. I think they only do the bronze in the 0.38 and something else, I can't remember now. This Ultima base pops real nice. All right, let's do some across the grain here. Merica side. Merica feels very good with that blade in there. Cranks it up just right, not too much. Tiny bit more blade feel on the Timless side, but not a ton. If you ride the top cap, it smooths out a little bit. Let's do the final pass here against the grain. See how these two razors do. Yeah, I'm really liking the smell of this, so it kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't thinking that I would like this one. My buddy Doug at Adopted Acres sent me this sample. He said this is one of his favorite A&E scents. So I should, sure, Bay Rum, A&E, I'll try it. It's amazing how the coumarin in it comes out as that spicy note. Very nice against the grain on the Yates. All right, let me go ahead and get rinsed up and see where we're at with things. Maybe a tiny bit more on the Timless side here. Let's see if I can pick it up. That's the telltale. Is it efficient enough to pick it up, or do I need to go to the Yates to get it? Let's see. No, it's not efficient enough to get that spot there. Close, but won't get it. Let's see. Both razors have a tough spot, or tough time getting this particular spot. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get rinsed up and I'll go over final thoughts of these two titanium razors. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. I'm back. All right, well, you know, these titanium razors, as I mentioned from the get-go, they're both very mild daily shavers for sure. And, you know, it's been a little while since I've used the Yates. I definitely like this particular blade pairing. It's probably one of my favorites as far as, I don't want to say that it's rough, the Yates, but it definitely was smoother with this particular blade in there. And, you know, both of these couldn't quite get me BBS. That's just me being picky. But, you know, on these tougher spots on my neck right here, you know, if I wanted to be super nitpicky, you know, neither of them were quite efficient enough to get that particular spot. Very, very close to BBS, but doesn't quite get it done. But it just depends on what you like. If you like a Rockwell 3-plate, you'd probably love these. That's pretty much exactly where these are. They're definitely not Rockwell 4-plate. They're definitely more like 3-plate as far as efficiency and blade feel wise. The Timless definitely had just a tiny bit more blade feel to me, but not a ton. Very comparable in that regard as far as blade feel wise. You know, head geometry and shape and stuff like that, I guess, you know, the Yates maybe get under the nose a little bit more. I have the mustache right now, and even when I didn't, I would do pig nose and whatnot anyways for under the nose. Both rinse out great. As I mentioned, the handle on the Merica is just a tiny bit short for me. You know, I have about a large hand or so, and so, you know, it's just a tiny bit short. If it was 3 1/4 or 3 1/2, I'd like a little bit better. You know, the handle on the Timless is great, nice and thick, and it has just that little bit of extra length that the Yates is missing. It's more of that 3 1/4, so I definitely like the handle better. Beautiful top cap on the Timless. That scallop look is just really beautiful. You know, the titanium is great as far as it's like impervious to the elements. It rinses very easily, so that's one of the nice things as far as cleanup wise goes. You know, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. I know there's not a ton of titanium razors, and that was another reason that I wanted to kind of compare these, because not only are they titanium, but they're in the mild category. So if you're looking at either one of these, you know, obviously the Yates Merica, you just got to try to find these used. That's actually how I got this one, and my buddy actually picked this one up used. I think he got it off the Badger and Blade, and I picked this one up of a Facebook forum, shaving forum group. So, you know, they're out there. And then obviously Matt from Razor Emporium is going to start reproducing all of the Yates offerings. So they'll be out there again. Well, there you go. If I had to pick, I'd say I'd probably go with the Merica. It had just a tiny bit more efficiency, not much, but a little bit more efficiency, and it was a little bit more forgiving and a tiny bit smoother. So the Merica would be my pick. But the Timless feels a lot like the SB45 to me, and comparable on efficiency. So if you have either the Timless SB45 or you have the Merica, that kind of gives you some sort of guideline as to what the Timless 0.68 is all about. Well, there you go. I hope that you like the titanium razor showdown tonight. And check out my info section. I've got some razors for sale and some coupon codes, so check that stuff out. I hope everybody has something to say in the comments section. Look forward to talking to everybody. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Take care.